Hi, me Thaathu, and this is Thaathu Podcasts. Growing up in the Maldives, I have often found myself feeling alienated and disconnected from the political landscape. The decisions made by the politicians and the policies implemented in the country, to me, it seemed detached from the realities of our daily lives. It often feels like our voices are lost in the middle of the noise of traditional politics, leaving us disheartened and disenfranchised. As an active member of the media community in the Maldives, I have been able to closely witness political rallies and general meetings in general. The crowds are always filled with passionate supporters. They keep cheering and they chant for their preferred ideologies. Yet, I have always struggled to find a sense of belonging in that space. The speeches are always filled with promises that seemed disconnected from the issues that matter the people, I believe. I really wonder whether if I'm the only person who feels this disconnected with all of it. Is it a personal problem or does this happen to anyone else? I've often wondered about this and I've talked about this with my friends as well. Some agree, some don't. So I thought of exploring the power of young generation and their impact in the political scene of the Maldives. The significance of young generation in shaping the future through their voices, it's very evident when we look at our history itself. I feel like one noteworthy example of the youth empowerment in the political field can be found in the story of the first president of the Maldives, Mohammed Amin Didi. He was a visionary leader, I must say. In the earlier days of the Maldives, when the country was under the reign of a monarchy, young individuals like Amin Didi began to realize the need for change. They recognized the aspirations and concerns of the younger generation were not really represented within the existing political structure. So a wave of young empowerment and political activism began to emerge. Young Maldivians, inspired by Amin Didi's vision, actively participated in political discussions and they advocated for democratic reforms. They saw themselves as agents of change, determined to shape the future of their nation. I feel like their efforts eventually concluded in a historic turning point with the establishment of a party system in the Maldives, with multiple parties being active in the Maldives. This obviously took a longer time to reach, but it eventually happened. A platform was provided for the young generation to, actively engage in politics and contribute to the nation's development. The youth-led movement, it not only symbolized the desire for political change, but I believe it also highlighted the power of young generation to really influence the trajectory of the country. Through their voices, these young individuals really brought a new era of democracy in the Maldives where aspirations and concerns of the people, especially the youth, were given greater importance. And it was really nice witnessing that growing up. If I am to raise an important point about the current sentiment among the youth generation of the Maldives, it is true that the current situation may have led to a sense of frustration and disappointment among many young people. These challenges and these complexities of the present time, whether it be social, economic, or political, it can indeed impact the level of passion and engagement among the youth. It is not uncommon for individuals to feel, discouraged or fed up with the state of affairs, especially if they perceive a lack of progress or responsiveness from the political establishment. Several factors I feel like could contribute to the disappointment: economic concerns, unemployment, limited opportunities to really do anything, or the lack of transparency, accountability, or like the genuine representation within the political system, I feel like can bear down the trust and enthusiasm for political engagement among the youth. Despite these challenges, it is important to recognize that the power to effect change lies within the hands of youth. While frustration, it's a natural response to the current situation, it can also serve as a reason for action. By channeling this energy, young people, I feel like, can still make a significant impact on the political scene in the country. To me, personally, it's really disheartening to see how the political discourse often revolves around topics that doesn't really resonate with the pressing concerns of the younger generation in the Maldives. Climate change, social justice, education are often overshadowed by other issues that are more politically convenient. This disconnection, it makes it challenging to see the relevance of politics in shaping our future and addressing the issues that truly matter to us. Like many other countries in the world, I feel like young voters struggle to connect with political activities and engage with the political figures. There exists a significant generational gap between the new voters, mainly the young people, and the established political class here in the Maldives. The gap really stems from a lack of understanding, communication, and representation of the concerns and aspirations of the younger generation. Because the Maldivian political scene still lacks a reliance on data and statistics, the decision-making processes and policy formulation often occur without comprehensive analysis or a data-driven approach. This absence of this evidence-based decision-making hinders the progress and result in policies that does not effectively address the needs of the society, including the concerns of the younger generation. I feel like politicians must prioritize representation and inclusivity by ensuring that all segments of the society, including the marginalized communities and the younger generation, have a voice in decision making. This involves actively seeking diverse perspectives, fostering inclusivity, and addressing the needs and aspirations of all citizens of the country, and not doing it just for the namesake. I mean, we see opinion-seeking forums going around everywhere, but I don't really see any result coming from that. Mostly because most youth don't really participate in these events because of the reasons I mentioned before, but something really needs to change in that perspective. I believe that effective politicians must really understand the value of collaboration here. By fostering dialogue and cooperation, I feel like politicians can find innovative solutions and build broad support for their initiatives as well. I feel the younger generation is very much up for these dialogues. If you look around, the things the younger generation are up to these days, it's really inspiring. They're very aware of the need for change and the importance of their voices. I should say that. They are actively seeking platforms to, express their concerns, engage in constructive discussions, and demand accountability from political figures. So, to all the first-time voters and the young voters here listening to this podcast right now, please know that your voice matters and your vote hold immense power. as a member of the young generation, you have the opportunity to shape the future you want to see. And I do hear, like, when I converse with my younger cousins or like the younger generation in general, I keep hearing that there's no point of voting this year and all of that. But I need you to know that by casting your vote, you actively participate in the democratic process, contributing to the change and progress our society needs. Your concerns, your dreams, your aspirations, they deserve to be heard and addressed by those in power. So remember, every vote counts, and together we can create a brighter and a more inclusive tomorrow. So you gotta take this chance to make a difference and let your voice be heard through the ballot box. Your engagement can ignite a positive transformation, and it can pave the way for a better future for all of us. And the politicians, instead of, oh my god, I can't believe I'm saying this, but instead of, seeking additional means to integrate and camouflage a monarchy within a democracy, I kindly request that you take the necessary steps to address what really matters here. I really hope I don't get cancelled for saying that though. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Thaathu podcast as we explored the challenges and opportunities faced by the younger generation in the Maldivian politics scene. I encourage you to continue this conversation and share your thoughts on this topic. You can connect with me on Instagram at Thaathu podcast, or you can simply leave a comment down below if you're listening to this on YouTube. You can share your experience and let me know what issues matter to you the most in the political sphere. Please know that your engagement is vital in shaping the future of the country, and also, like, talking on a more personal level, it really helps me shape future episodes of the podcast as well. So that just that way I get to ensure that we address the topics that resonate with you. Thank you once again for being part of Thaathu podcasts, and stay tuned for more. Bye bye. Now go.